In this module, we're going to back up a little bit and do a little review and go over a little slower on cutting that 1/4 in half and discussing the line points. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and make sure for this time being we can probably, it will go a little bit faster in a selection if we have nothing but second division selected. So we go up, get our selection tool. We are in an editing session and we select our second division. It doesn't have to think about so long about what you want to do. So we right click, we go construct from parent, and it brings up this window. Now, since I was in this previously, it comes up to the template we want, but if it does not, you just click on the template button, go to aliquot, and we'll say OK. Now, I'm going to do a video on creating a plan, but I already have a plan in here, basically set up in chains. And it's for entry of record survey data, which we're going to review once we accomplish a couple of these other tasks. So I'm going to set that as the active plan. So now we go back to our segmented line tool. And as I was saying before, you need to close your polygon. Actually, what I have found out, you do not have to actually close the polygon. These lines are already in the parent parcel, the north and south line. And when you use the segmented line tool, right click, once again we want 2, we say OK, and then we do the end. And you see that it's highlighted that we've done something on this line. Meaning what I found out, there's a change to that line. So before we were clicking and coming across here, and if you'll notice, I'll click, right click 1, say OK. We close this out. It doesn't recognize that there's any change. It's still that line, so it doesn't highlight. So here we want a segment of 2. Even. And we have the 2. And so now we have the 2, as you can see here in our table here. These are equal distance on each individual line. There's 2 equal segments of that line. Now we just need to do the dividing line. Say 1, and we click the end position. Okay, now we've completed the 2 new parcels that we want. So, as I showed in the last one, it gives us that distance across there and the bearing. And then you notice, since I'm using this new plan, this is in chains. And actually all these bearings are in true bearings. So I'll come back up here. Once again, you can build and mark historic, or you can build and keep all current. I like build and keep all current just in case I need to redo something. So we're going to click on this. It'll take a minute to process. And it's processed. Now you see we have 2 new parcels here, and we still have the overall old parcel. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close this window. We're going to go ahead and clear this selection. We're going to come back up here, get our selection tool one more time, click here, and it comes up with the one we want to delete. But just to be sure, we can do the pull down. And see you have 2 new parcels because it's not sure which one, even though I highlighted the northeast or the southeast. But that's what we want, is the northeast or the southeast. So now I'm just going to right click in it. To hopefully get my command window back up where we had construct from parent. You have these other commands, but we're going to go down. We're just going to delete that polygon. I really don't want to keep it historically. You could if you wanted. Now we have our two new parcel points, and what I was referring to earlier is line points. When you set a line point on these points, it maintains edge match to the adjoining polygons and parcels. Basically, on this side, you need to maintain edge match to the quarter section, the section line, and second division. This side is just second division. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here, select this Add Line Point. We click on it. It brings up this window. So you click a start point, end point, and then where you want the line point. Generally, I keep clicked on bend the line to the point. Bend the line to the line point, basically. So I'm going to come over here. This one we're going to do first. It selects the parcel number, parcel point number. I come down here for the endpoint. Once again, it selects it, and then where I want the line point. And then I say apply. And this could take a few seconds to process also. It's just about done. I saw the screen change up there. If that line that you selected at the beginning and end point of is not a straight line, there's an angle break at that new parcel point, which there will be once you run an adjustment. The line point will come up, command will come up with an error that it is not a straight line. And there, it finally completed. Okay. Now we have a line point there. You see it's red in color. That will maintain our edge match to the adjoining parcels. Now we want to go ahead and put one on this side also. So we want to clear all. And then we do our selection one more time. Beginning point, end point, and our line point. And we say apply. Okay, and it completed. So we have our two line points. We'll go ahead and close this window. Now that we have our two line points, we're going to go ahead and edit the attribution on these parcels. So we can go ahead and select. Since all we have is second division selectable at the moment, that's what we're going to get. We're going to come over here to our attributes. And give it the attribute north half, northeast, southeast, kind of using the old GCDB format. We know this is going to be nominal acreage, so we can back this up here to 20 acres. Once again, we can say it's compiled. And we see it came up. So let's clear it and select the south half. Once again, same thing. Okay. South half, northeast, southeast. Okay, 20 acres. And compiled. And we'll come over here, clear it. And there we have it. Now this is an oddity that I haven't figured out why it does it when you do edit sometimes. Some of our control that was already in here, basically the LX control, it's still labeled, but if you notice, it put it with a different color and a different symbol. that actually represents other. And if it's under other, you can't do much with it. So what we can do to correct this real quick is we'll unselect second division, select nothing but control, and we will select all this control that for whatever reason changed. Didn't quite get that one, so let's get that one now. Okay, we got it. We can come back here to attributes. We can click on the top one, hold down the shift key, click to the bottom. You see control type, it changed it to 0, which is other. We can come over here, click for the pull down. We want it to be pseudo control. We click on it, say OK, and now we're back fixed again. So we can clear this selection. And now our next step is to bring in our actual survey control. I went ahead and left this LX control in there just to leave it in there. And I'm going to bring in our actual survey control. We have our line points. And we can come in over to catalog, come back here to Nevada Parcel Fabric, import, control points. This is the file that I want since I was in it just a little earlier. So I click on it, I say add, next. Remember, we're going to go ahead and cheat a little bit and tell it to match everything within 65 meters because we know there's nothing closer than that other than the control to the parcel points. So we say next, and then we say finish. And this shouldn't take too much longer. And there we go. Once again, remember, I know we have our control turned on because I have control showing. So all we have to do is go down here to the refresh screen. And as we can see, everything is associated. The purple color, we can open up associated or matched. There's all our LX that was already in there. And here's all our new actual survey control. Now, I'm not sure why this one came through with plat, but I'm going to go ahead and do a little edit here. And all I'm going to do is take the word plat off. Whenever you do any edits, all it is, when you're done for whatever you want to change, you click update, click it one more time, and then it's updated, and we don't have plat. So, everything's associated. We're ready to adjust. As we saw previously in the other video, we're going to be utilizing this pseudo control to kind of maintain distortion within the sections that are being adjusted, which are basically these 4 sections, with this one only being the section corner, the common corner, this one would be in lines along a section corner, and same thing here, and this with adjustments internally within the section and on the opposite section line. So what we're going to do is go ahead, close this, come up here, get our selection tool, and select. Remember, we're just going to select the area that we really want to adjust. And remember that these, since they're there, will adjust anyways. And another thing I discovered is even if they're outside your viewing window and your control is turned on, and when I say turned on, this check mark is here, that control is going to be used. So I don't want to use 240-700 because that's going to be used in a survey to the north. So I need to find 240-700 here someplace. There it is. And all I have to do is unclick the check mark. You'll notice it comes back, there's no point ID. It will not be used in the adjustment. Everything else that is clicked on will be used. So in the future, when you get done updating an area with your least squares, you may wish to come in and actually unclick all this control. And then if you do an adjustment 3 townships away, this won't become readjusted again. So anyways, we have our area. We're going to go ahead and close this. We know which points we want. Let's clear this. Now, selection. Control is all we had, but we want the line points, lines, township, first division, quarter second, and second division. So when we do our selection this time, you'll see the yellow lines on here highlight being the lines that are going to be adjusted. Everything else is items that are in the adjustment but may or may not shift. So we have our selection the way we want. We have our pseudo control to maintain somewhat cartographic pleasing characters. And we open our control management window and we say adjust. I had already done this a couple times, so it's still a 15. We know that will work. It completed. I'm going to go ahead and say accept because we've done this several times previously, and we say OK. I'm going to clear this. And now we can see the same distortion we saw before along some of these lines, but it does not go past outside of these sections that are somewhat contained within the adjustment. We could put more pseudo control and make this not distort at all, but I am going to utilize this, as I mentioned before, to show you how to take this out. So anyways, we're going to zoom in real quick and show you. You can actually tell at this zoom level, since these segments of line don't overlap, that we have a single line. And basically we're zoomed in almost 1:0. And you can see we don't have any offset lines at this time. Let's go over and check the other side because we had actual line separations over there. So we come over here. We look at this. So we're zooming in. We're not, once again, you see these lines stacked end to end, and we're almost to as far as you can zoom, and we are of any reality. This is 1:0, the map scale. And we do not see any separation or double lines. So that demonstrates the purpose of the line points. So for this portion, we're going to stop here, and the next lesson is going to be merging courses on how to take care of some of these instances here to fix this when these 64s are not necessary 54s or represented any type of official survey. So until then, we'll talk to you later.